Hey everybody, welcome to Night Sweep Woods Edition. So Night Sweep, if you don't know, is the level 50 task that Skier gives you. And you have to find 12 unusual knives in raid. These unusual knives are the Cultist knives. So one of the most handy tools since my previous video that I discovered is the site tarkov-time.adam.id.au. And it's Escape from Tarkov, real time to in-game time. Why this is needed is your cultists spawn between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. On wood specifically. I've seen them despawn at 5 a.m. on Shoreline, but only 6 a.m. on woods. Very strange behavior. So there's two places that they spawn on the woods map. So you'll spawn usually here behind Scav Bunker, something like that, or you'll spawn at any one of the PMC spawns. They can spawn here in the woods by the Roadblock. So if you're familiar with ZB14, where that road congregates, there's two rocks, two big outcroppings. And you'll see me in the video, I shoot them from those outcroppings. It's not my favorite place to hunt them, and I'll tell you why. It's relatively close to where Shoreline is, therefore it can have any amount of traffic. There's also traffic passing here onto the USEC camp, which is usually fairly rich in loot. Or it's on the way to the outskirts extract or ZB14 extract. And at night, if anybody's got a thermal, there's not a lot of cover on these rocks. I'll show you footage of how easy it is to shoot them if it's a quiet raid. The alternate place where I prefer shooting them is up here by the actual sunken village. And what I do here, and I'm going to zoom in at 250%, kind of where that PMC spawn is, a little bit north. There's a nice little spot, and if you're lucky, they'll be right on the shoreline here of the actual lake or the body of water. If you're unlucky, they're kind of in the bushes, and I'll show you footage of both. Now, what I like to do with this area is the first hour or two in-game. In other words, if it hits about 10 p.m., I'll try for this rough roadblock, see if they're there, see if there's a lot of activity, a lot of traffic, and try and kill them. Alternatively then, if I do deploy at about 2 a.m. in Tarkov time, I get to a spot here and I see if they're there. I'll engage and kill as many of them as I can, wait until 6 a.m. The rest will then despawn. In other words, they'll just sort of run away and disappear. Normal scavs will actually appear, and the moment you see a normal scav, you know it is good to go, and then you can go and complete the loot. Again, the wiki says there's 4 to 6 in both instances. Over here at the roadblock and up here, I've never found less than 6. 5 sectons and a Zrek. Alright, so now that we've covered that, I'm going to show you the spots and in-game footage. So I'm on one of those rocks that I showed you at the roof roadblock, and you can actually see one of them running from the forest side onto the roadblock, and there's another one coming there. I'm on the right hand side rock, super easy to see, fairly easy to see them. Distance is about 112 meters out of the engagement zone. I drop one, the other one is doing his turn. Thank you. He's down. I moved to the left side of the rock again. One of them has moved to the middle of the roadblock. Drop him. Headshot. And this is just to actually show you how easy it is if you don't mind the danger of the spot. There's a fourth one that's showed himself, and I'm going to drop him. He's down. But like I said, I'm not a fan of it because this position is quite exposed. Here I'm at the shoreline spot. I'm going to show you two different raids that I did them. Here they're quite nicely on the shore. There's one of the sectants. There's another sectant in the bush back there. I'm kind of scanning to the left to see if there's any more. Ah, there's the Shrek, the leader. And I just want to move around to see if I can actually find a nice spot to engage them from. Headshot him. Move. It is from the one shore to the other shore, it is 72 meters. So if you're going to engage them on this or across this lake, just keep distance. You make sure that you keep 100 meters from them. Otherwise, you're in their engagement zone and they will make things very unpleasant for you. So there is the Shrek, the leader. I try and go prone to get more stable. See, I can't get prone and see him. This area is quite flat. Missed the first shot. Second shot hits him. See one in the bushes at the back there. And I was being engaged from the right hand side, and I'll deal with that issue in a bit. You can sort of see where he turns. Thank you. Headshot to him as well. You can make out where his head is and then see how he turns. Now I need to find the one that engaged me from the right side. Do excuse me, I am drinking coffee during this voiceover at 6 AM. It's about the only time I got to do this video. So now to find that one that was actually sort of shooting me. Look more to the right, more to the right. Oh, wow, okay, he was actually way further to the right than I expected. He's almost at that house that's got that hidden stash in it. Try and go prone. I see again, I can't see through the grass. Now I could go to the shoreline, but I'm not sure of the distances. There's just no way to see him, sadly. Now he proved to be actually more difficult to hit, or I was just shooting like a potato. That shot missed somehow, and I think I was shooting over him. He knows he's being engaged. He just doesn't know from exactly where. Okay, can you go down now? There we go, he's down. Also, tip, 855A1 does not work very well on them. They have 50 HP in their heads, and I used the TX15 once, and I think 855A1 only does 44 damage. So that's why I'm using an MDR with M61. So there's one behind that tree that I eventually spotted, and as you can see the sun is already starting to come up. These raids do take a long time. Don't think you're going to go in, kill them in 5 minutes and walk out, unless they're completely visible. So he's in the bushes. I can lie nicely on the shoreline. I see him. Okay, I've got an idea of where his head is. And he is down. I love the flare. Now, during my search, I missed the 6th one. And then when I looked at the actual video playback here, I noticed this one, he was sitting over there, sort of in the bushes. I should have actually taken a little bit more time to look for him, but nothing I can do about that now. So once it's gone past 6 a.m., you can move in and collect the loot. There is the leader, the Zhrek. I actually paused here, took a nice little screenshot because he looks like a beached whale while the sun's rising. There is one of the sectants. Nicely, so it looks like a pod of whales that's beached themselves. And he had a slick on him as well. I'm not going to bore you too much with the looting. Unfortunately, this one didn't have a good knife on him. I did find a tiger the other day, which I swapped for a thick items case. So this is another raid, and I want to show you actually their strange behavior and why I absolutely love hunting them. So there is one in the bushes. They were not on the shoreline as easily. Now he's moving to the right, which was a bit odd. He's moving behind that church. I'm again on this shoreline spot, which gives me distance on them. And then he kind of disappears there. And I thought to myself, okay, did I lose my chance to shoot him? I don't really see any more. And then 2 more, 3 more come out of the woodwork. And they're migrating like rats from a sinking ship. And as you can see in the background, the sun is slowly coming up. But it was about 5:20 past 5 a.m. in Tarkov time. So I had about 5 or 6 minutes to make a play here and see if I could actually shoot any of them to get the cultist knives. Now, once you reach level 50, that mission, Night Sweep, gives you 107,000. Yeah, 107,000 XP. Can you believe that? So I see them strangely moving back. And it's like a bunch of lemmings or a herd of mice or something. It was the strangest thing to actually observe. I've never really seen them do this. So, like when you hunt anything, you focus on one in the herd. I drop him with a headshot. I move over and I see one go up against one of those houses and another one sits there. And I made a mistake here. I shot him a little bit too low. That one is a headshot, but the other one was a body shot. There was blood on the wall later when I went to collect the loot, but he wasn't down. I still look around and I see one sitting in the bushes. I need to get my actual arm stamina back. I've got max strength, and still it doesn't help. Wow, and I just shoot over him, and headshot, and he's down. So you have to be incredibly patient when you hunt these buggers. You cannot rush it at all. Oh, by the way, check this boat. It's a spawn now for valuables. I found rollers, clocks and stuff in. There's the one next to the house. He had a Corund. But we're not going to watch me actually loot them again. You know sort of by now what loot they carry and what you're looking for. The cultist knives, tigers, high-end gear. Look carefully, because you can drop them sometimes in the bushes here. This was another one with a Corund, and he's got a cultist knife. Once you've done the task, the cultist knives sell for 21,000 to Jaeger. So even if you get 4 of them, that's 80k. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this footage of how to kill the cultists on woods. Take care, everybody. Cheers.